Welcome to Rip Comics Podcast. I'm Rob, the pilot of today's podcast. With me in the cabin today is my co-pilot, Roland Perez.
Roger, Roger.
So sit back, relax with your favorite beverage, for the show's about to begin. But first, let's begin with the first of the minute news from Behemoth Comics, which is probably one of our favorite independent comic book houses right now. But This is such incredible news. A girl walks home alone at night, gets a second printing. So that means in order to get that second printing, what must have happened?
Sold out.
That's right. That's right. Going into second print, I'm getting this right from Bleeding Cool. They were the first ones to break with this story. Going into second print is A Girl Who Walks Home Alone, #1 from Behemoth Comics, which saw all 3 covers, and that's cover A, cover B, and the incentive book, sold out at the distributor and publisher over 1 week before the release of the comic coming out this past Wednesday. As a result, the second printing, you should start to see it being popped up. Your comic book shops probably over the weekend, your midtowns, your Things from Another World are going to start popping this up. I don't know when the FOC is, but for a small publisher, this will be the small publisher's first book to sell over 10,000 copies for a #1.
That is awesome.
That is freaking awesome. Now, a lot of people, maybe they haven't. I don't know if they are aware that is a movie. That was a movie that came out a couple of years ago, and it was a vampire flick, but it wasn't your typical. I think the vampires are coming, but it was Amina on Poor's, Anna Lily on Poor's film. Now she did another film also that was just as awesome. It was with Jason Momoa. I don't know if you ever seen that. I think it was called The Bad Batch or something of that nature. Or I'll look it up. But anyway, it took place in a post-apocalyptic dystopian kind of setting and stuff like that. I love the way that she puts their stories together. The vampire one captivated us the most, me and my wife. And, going through the previews and stuff like that, I end up seeing it. Bam, it just pops up. That poster is so iconic, which is cover A. And when it popped up, I knew that was something that we had to get a hold of. The thing is that when I was looking at the public, the dates that were coming out for it, issue 2 should be actually coming out in December. And then in January, this is how fast it was moving. In January is going to be the trade paperback. Oh, yeah. So you got issue 1, which came out this month. December is issue 2, trade paperback available. So, but I'm really anxious. I have not seen the cover. I haven't seen it sneak peek anywhere. I know on Behemoth Comics Facebook page they had announced that keep an eye out. The FOC or whatever the case may be, or the listing for that second print should be popping up by today. More than likely, we'll probably see it tomorrow and stuff like that. We've actually been pleasantly surprised. I want to welcome Rico, who's our navigator, and Carlos, who's our
steward.
I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to say our onboard priest for tonight's flight.
The chaplain.
So he'll be doing blessings of every comic that come his way. But Rico, you did see the Spawn releases of those covers. What did you think of those? I mean, just in time for Christmas, he gives us a hey, you got a Santa Clown, I guess, Santa Clown special cover, and then of course he has of all things, a new Spawn entity.
He's being festive. You know, I mean, they're getting ready to do a whole team of spawns that will be fighting, and I guess this is his way of energizing himself.
This Quentin Tarantino comic with all the. By the way, hi mom.
I didn't hear her.
He did. He did. He did. It is a pretty wicked looking cover. There he is. That's the clown that we've all have seen since since Spawn 1 and the movies, of course. And there he is doing his doing his creepy. Now, you know what would be cool if we saw this cat against the King in Black Santa Claus, and we see a battle of some kind with those two dudes. But you know what I mean? This is just for the cover. It's not going to be in the book. We're seeing too many cool things that are on the cover of these books. That what we're looking at, everybody, is Spawn 313. If you happen to be joining us on the Facebook Live, the way we record this, and you can actually go to the YouTube after we have edited down the video, and you'll be able to see the image itself. It's Spawn 313 with Todd McFarlane's creation. It's clown about to go down a chimney with a bunch of crazy toys and stuff like that. Just looking as wicked as possible. And that's going to be released in December, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. Oh, Plague Spawn. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Greg Capullo and Todd McFarlane together again.
But vice versa,
And again.
Capullo.
And again.
Yeah. And so obviously, the big introducing, and it seems that's the way they're doing it. We don't know when the hell this guy's going to appear, but you know what? Screw it. Throw him on a cover.
Well, he's going to appear once they do that
big war.
Team
The big
Spawn team, or Team Spawn, or Alpha Flight
Glorious
Spawn,
bastards.
or something like that.
Spawn bastards.
Spawnage. So yeah, so that's what Spawn has going on. Now, we did run into some fun stuff, didn't we, Rich? When it came to the store where everybody likes to go and everybody knows your name. Again, they did not have any books again. Now they did have DC. So if you wanted all your DC needs, like Mr. Carlos, they definitely have more than enough to supply anything in the DC universe. But when it came to Diamond, they were left hanging dry again. So that did pose some very interesting dilemmas, and but like everybody, you're either going to wait on the curb and watch the train pass by, or the whole show, or you have to do what you got to do. Richard, you were looking for some very particular covers, and you had to go elsewhere. Do you want to go ahead and tell everybody what you ended up? Carlos kind of wondered about this, if we would do something like this, but I'm going to go ahead, since we have some time. I wanted to go ahead and ask, what did you end up picking up, I guess, at the comic store?
Well, I ended up picking up the Immortal Hulk, the spoiler cover variant that I was hoping to find.
Scotty Young.
And I did find it. And the other thing I picked up was the Spider-Man book. The
Symbiote
one? Yeah, the Symbiote one. And
Superlog. It was the Superlog cover, which was the I guess it broke down, some of the features of the black costume. Carlos, you were the one, the inspiration in my life that made us do this segment. It's called
You bring me into my life. I want to have you near me.
No, I didn't say that line.
No one needs you more.
So now you got to lift the comic slowly, Carlos.
you.
Of
when am I
what
supposed to look this again?
you've acquired this past Wednesday. Man, you have your own theme song and everything, man. That's pretty impressive.
We even tried to do
Yeah, I
the
know.
Peter Cetera double vocal.
Yeah. With a
Okay,
touch
well,
of Michael McDonald and
Hey, don't
and
interrupt him on his
well, obviously I picked up
segment.
Spider-Man, symbiote
there you
Spider-Man.
go. Cover
Mm.
A, Symbiote Spider-Man. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I picked this one. I like this cover. It looks.
Yeah.
No, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Those are
Wow.
very iconic. They're all main featured characters in
Mhm.
this particular story.
And it even has my
Surprising.
man, Rocket Raccoon right there too. So
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's Greg Land, right? Greg Land cover, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yeah.
Wait, was that
Mhm.
Rocket Raccoon or was that
It was Rocket.
Okay, he looked a little bit like Robin Hood.
And
Ooh, the lolly.
and then I also picked up I haven't read this yet, but the latest Nightwing issue.
Oh.
Wait a minute, you didn't speed read it?
No, I've been no, I wanted to, but
Did you skim the pages to at least look at the artwork?
No.
It's still
I want
fresh.
to I
Now,
need to digest each page and look at the
everybody's making comments about that on the. I didn't look at the spoilers or anything, but from what I'm reading on the internet, a lot of people are saying the final and all this kind of stuff. So you might have ended up picking a book that might have been the conclusion of Nightwing or something
Or all
thereof.
print comics.
Well, it's like towards the end of
His run, right?
well, yeah, but we kind of reached the conclusion of the Three Jokers story arc
Cool.
that's been going on for the past month or so. Well, I think it's been delayed, so it's kind of like a waiting game, but it's finally finished up. And during this time, Nightwing was you remember when I told you how Nightwing became Rick Grayson a while back?
Yeah.
So now he's Nightwing again. So he got his memories back and
yeah, that was
everyone's
we
happy
did talk
now.
about that. Me and Roland. See, I almost forgot because I had my mind erased too. He had gotten his memories, and then but see, what we were wondering is why couldn't he remember when he was Robin with Batman? It was like, oh, I can't remember when I was this Nightwing, but you know what I mean? It didn't go back far enough. So I don't know. But I thought that was kind of cool that they were doing that thing. So, but he ended up, everything's fine. Everything's right. He got his mind back and all that kind of
But then the new storyline of Bane messing with his mind and him becoming Rico Grayson.
Grayson. Rico Grayson. Oh, so
Sounds
anyway,
too much like Graciano.
Because you might be our reporter for this future state.
Yep.
Of DC.
You are Jimmy Olsen.
That's going to be your next assignment. We're going to assign you, and you don't have to. We're not going to make you read all 25,000 books in that thing. Well, yeah, no. Hey, but next week, I mean, this is part of another show, but next week you have another issue of Sonic the Hedgehog Bad Guys #3.
Ooh.
It looks interesting.
Bad guys.
I know right now is that for Sonic the Hedgehog, the Bad Guys miniseries is gonna be I guess you could say the main the main series is sort of kind of taking a break, but this miniseries is sort of kind of gonna build up into the main series right now.
Let me move to my brother here. So Rich disappeared, but roll. So how did it go this week? It's kind of like going to Vegas.
Yeah, I crapped out.
Or the Twilight Zone.
There was nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I got a trade paperback that he threw in my box. A collection of the first 20-something issues of Savage Dragon, which is fine. I like Savage Dragon, but still haven't gotten the actual Savage Dragon. I've been asking for it since I've pretty much been here. So I've been here since September 20th, and I pretty much went pretty quick and opened up a box there, and I've not gotten one issue of Savage Dragon that I've asked for.
Yeah, there's Savage Dragon comes out next week, a new one. And then you don't need to relive the horror. You basically told me the interaction, and I'm right now I'm still speechless about your interaction with those guys at that shop. It's like they don't remember you at all.
So okay, I'm going to tell that little story. I walk in, I go look at the comics, nothing really there. The Spawn, the Ninja Spawn reprint, or the second, third printing, whatever it is, that was there. I'm like, I'm not really seeing anything. So I go up. The guy I've been talking to since September 20th, every week, I'm like, he always asks me, are you looking for anything? And so I say, for them, I say, Perez, I have a box. He goes, oh, so he's in his little square, because the counter's like in the middle. So it's like a square counter. He goes around, and one of the other guys that works there, he's a younger guy. He works there from Thursday on to Sunday. And then the other guy, so he starts singing Pokemon to me, the Pokemon theme song, very badly. And I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, and he's like, he stops for a little bit, and he's all, you need me and I need you, Pokemon. And I'm looking at him, I'm all, why? Then the guy comes back around the corner, pops a box of Pokemon cards on the counter, and I went get a new posters, because he lets me look at the posters, because he really doesn't put anything up. So I've actually gotten some good posters. He said, no, we didn't get any. And the guy was like, oh, but we do have them right here. They were old. I'd already seen them. He's like, oh, well, we have a Power Pack one. And he's like, ooh, this is Inhumans. I think it's an Alex Ross. And I'm like, that's not Alex Ross. I said there was a Captain America in there with Alex Ross. And he's like, he's looking. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I've already looked through those. So I've been in there since almost 2 months now. And the guy still doesn't remember me until he actually looks at my bag of comics. And yeah, that was my interaction this week. For no new comics for me.
How old is the guy?
Probably Rob's age.
You're gonna get all
I've
the questions that I've asked you already, dude. But go ahead.
I want to say he's like, I've been having a lot of run-ins with people that are Rob's age that are just like messed up.
Early onsets. They got the early onsets of,
I guess. But the other guy was younger than me, so the one who was singing to me. Yep.
How old was he?
In his 20s. He looks like he's in his early 20s. But then again,
okay.
I mean, people don't realize that I have a grandkid, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, people think I'm, not in my early 20s.
People think I'm 12.
Wait a minute, Rob, I thought you said he was 12.
That's what I thought he was. But I think I got the numbers all turned around. No, you're 23, right, Carlos?
Yeah.
23. He just turned 23.
Yeah.
And he's a year younger than my son.
I want to say I had about 3 kids by the time I was 23.
Pokemon.
I'd done a deployment already.
He saw action. God dang it! No.
Not quite, but
not that kind of action.
Gar.
Not because of the Navy. That's a little misleading there, guy.
Did you learn how to shoot paper clip rubber band shooter things?
Damn, that's what happened to me too.
Is that how you got that medal?
Yeah, was messing around in the office and somebody hit me in the eye.
We're gonna have to post those up for Carlos to be able to catch up on y'all's quick wit.
I'm kind of interested in your story about the guy singing the Pokemon stuff.
I was in all like, and it was bad. So he wasn't even singing it correctly. And I'm just like, I've met that guy like once, so I don't expect him to know me. But he's just like,
he's serenading him
to me. And then when I said, that's not me, it's my box, and all of a sudden he starts getting on the other guy. How could you mishear him? This is our customer. I was like,
man, you're like 2 steps away from the Pulp Fiction pawn shop. We're not gonna get
Who's that?
I don't have anybody to save me.
Oh my Lord. But you know what? You know what can save you? We're gonna get into the X of Swords.
I
Those
don't
are
know if
three.
that's gonna save me.
Those are those are three comics that came out. We had been looking forward to. I mean, we're like right on the cusp of finishing this run that has brought us to the last 6 chapters. These are the next 3 before we get into the. I'm not even going to hint at what kind of conclusion we're
And no
getting.
spoilers. No spoilers this week.
I don't see how you cannot
How?
have spoilers. This is by far the most explosive 3 issues. I mean, we've had other surprise moments and stuff like this, but I mean, when you get to the X-Force, Hellions, and then Cable, it's like wow.
X-Men saving the day.
I have to say that I felt I probably could have drawn that last couple panels in Cable probably a little bit better than that. Or no, I take it back. It looked like I drew those last couple panels in Cable.
Could you have painted them with watercolors?
Oh yeah, my new art name is going to be Apple Manzana.
Apple Manzana.
Apple
Hey.
Manzana.
I'm going to paint in finger paints. They're going to be finger paints.
Get Stevie Wonder to do your theme song.
Did you see that awesome Japanese guy from some 17 whatever 100, and man, those look just as much of those Dynamite covers, man. I thought, with the flying hummingbird and whatever the hell that was, the sparrow. Anyway,
I didn't realize people have used watercolors before.
Yes.
Anywho's back to X of Swords.
Talk. Well, just real quick. I'm just gonna say this before we get into X of Swords. For a person that is like supposed to be on like Stormbreakers, I saw her in like Boom. She's still in Boom. I think DC, Marvel. It's like you named the company, Image. It's
well, I told you she had that contract through going into 2021 with it was either IDW or Boom.
I think it was Boom. I think you said Boom.
Yeah,
but she's got covers like everywhere, dude.
But still no inside art.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what she's being,
If Alex Ross can paint whole issues.
Paint. Yeah, you're right. Paint. And I think maybe that's what they're probably doing. They're probably saying, Sushi, Yamakachi, look at Dizzy. We just canceled this whole episode.
Okay.
X of Swords. Here we go. X of Swords. So X Force. Let's just go around the horn. I don't.
I mean, we don't even have to go in order.
No, just go ahead.
I'm gonna say. What did I say about version 1.0? What did I say about Storm?
Yeah, she don't need no mask.
Like Johnny.
I didn't need no. Never mind. Anyway, go ahead, dude. We're gonna just shut down this whole thing right now. Redo. Coca-Cola.
But
yeah,
like I said,
you can walk back. You can walk back to Krakoa.
Yeah. So I have to say, these 3 issues, you see betrayal. You see, I questioned about a certain character. I think we all did, and he didn't fail. He the guy Null. He totally wow. I didn't see that. It was old. That's what I expected from the betrayal. Some of the I mean, it was a bit of a change up on the way they were going to do the battles.
Right.
I thought it was going to be straight up tournament style, but it's just it seems like it's just a rigged rigged tournament, because there it was, Arakoa was up, and all of a sudden over like at 3 a.m, Krakoa got the 100,000 votes.
Yep.
And came back, and they're tied right now. And like I said though, Cable left me feeling weird again.
Yeah, but Apocalypse basically says the line that I think we've felt for the last 17 issues.
with great power come. Oh wait,
Yeah.
which one?
No,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
his.
yeah.
I
yeah.
ain't
You know
got
what's
no
gonna
weapon.
happen.
I ain't be got no weapon.
You don't have to say anything. We're reading
Tommy. Yeah,
you. This
we
was
didn't have to go 17 issues. You could have started it right now.
Damn stinking apes.
so but getting to that point, you know what I will say this though, the little thingies in the middle that break down like the battles, and as usual our Wolverine is still the biggest loser. And they keep, I liked all those little editing notes, like they're breaking down the headlines and all that kind of stuff. I actually found those a lot more palatable. I think that's the word, and enjoyable. Even to the point, I even like. I'm going to go back a couple of issues when they broke down the odds of all the characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, because again, it was like the crooked market, like what was being put up at the crooked market, which I actually didn't mind that one with Captain Avalon or whatever. I have to say, I don't care if it's a spoiler, but I think the best one is Kill This Kitten. I was laughing. That was awesome.
Yeah, I did like that one. But they
kind of use that in another Marvel movie, like in another Marvel thing, where
you know what
you get the dog, you raise the dog, and then you had to kill the dog.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
That's what the cat looked like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
they're saying kill Inkblot, and they were like, well, yeah, because by issue 3.
Yeah, but it rhymes with Hanoi Rocks. Yeah, that was obscure.
Yeah. That
1989.
Yeah. So, I do have to say, Hellions is not a book I'm ever probably going to pick up again after this until the next crossover. Neither is Cable. Cable.
So let me get this straight. Okay, so because I saw solicitation already for X Factor. So X Factor was not a factor in this factor at all.
Nope. Had they even had an X Factor book out since this whole thing started?
Yeah, I think they put it on pause, kind of like they did a few.
Now, one thing I need to talk to you guys, because I don't know if you knew this, because again, you didn't really read. They did separate Psylocke and Quanon, right? Betsy Braddock and Quanon. You know that, right?
Right.
Because it turned out that you remember, because Psylocke was British and all of a sudden she became Japanese.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they separated, and so there's a difference between Betsy Braddock and Psylocke now, because they call her Quanon. She's the Japanese part, and so Betsy is back to being pre-Psylocke or pre-Ninja Psylocke, the assassin, because it was the Mandarin.
Right.
If I recall.
Yeah.
So how do they do that? Does she go through the Psylocke door? Kind of like in Immortal Hulk, they have the green door. I mean,
okay, this is actually back from. This happened. I mean, I was still collecting X-Men at this time, and it was a cover where you saw Betsy and Quanon together, and they had finally separated them. But yeah, that's what.
Okay, now that you mention that, there's still a possibility of two characters getting merged together because of the two, and that's coming up in the last 3 issues.
Yeah.
And they've already shown that they can be separated. People can be separated. Now they're going to have 2 people merged together as one.
All I know is that in a comic book that they told us, like, there will be death. There's only been 2 deaths.
Yeah, you noticed that? I noticed that too.
Well,
everybody else.
There might have been more in Hellions. It might have been more in Hellions. It's
Yeah, but actually,
we don't know if anybody died.
100 swordsmen.
We're talking about actually contestants, because that's what they kept hyping up, that you're going to see all these dudes die and all this kind of stuff.
That one guy died. I'm not going to give away, but it's kind of a hint.
Yeah,
that person died.
Yeah.
But again, I have to say, they're using this. They're making sure that that Storm is a badass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that whole little section, I was waiting for it. If you remember, I was saying that, especially when Richard said, because I didn't realize that. Yeah, she's version 1.0. She's the OG,
She's
and
the only one left that has never died.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. And she's always been, even when in her battle, they thought she was going to be weak because they got her. It wasn't even just drunk. They just like, they were expecting like
her.
they're like, you're about to die, and she's still. And again, I like the different ways of the fighting, the double talk, the word meanings, like with the, what is it, the Pog guy. I dug it. Again, not so much the Cable storyline, but Doug did play a major part, Cypher, in that. So actually, that to me is a big change for that character, and I'm actually interested in seeing where that goes. Unfortunately, he's probably in Hellions, so I'll never find out until the next crossover.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was. Well, like I said, I ended up finding a lot of. You know what? I felt kind of. I'm looking back at the thing, just the contest itself. I think they hyped it up like massively.
The death aspect they hyped up.
Right. I
the
mean,
story's been good.
But see, even when they were doing it very majestic, when they were doing the creation book or the
Yeah,
and they were setting all that up, I like that, and it was very beautifully done. I mean, I'm talking about like the cards and that the foreshadowing of what we were going to see and this, that, and the other. And then when they started doing the little switcheroo and that changing the rules, okay, that was okay. I thought, okay, well, she's playing with them at first, but then all of a sudden we get the Keystone Cops breakdown and the numbers are just getting out of control and the dance contests. And I'm like,
okay, now I'm going to say this. I think, what was it in the Hellions comic, right? Where, okay, the one thing that lost me was the hearts in Sinister's eyes.
Yeah. What was that? Yeah. That was kind of,
I mean, if that, I mean,
well, there's okay. Like, okay. I talked to Richard a little bit about this, and we talked about, because he brought up the fact of the two Sinisters
before they left to the other.
Before
I know, but
Earth.
I thought that one person who could control minds, I thought he made himself look like Sinister. Did I not read that right?
No. I think that there is a clone, right, Rich?
There's two Sinisters.
There's two Sinisters from the very beginning.
He had the other guy come out and they had a discussion, and he goes, well, which one of us is going to go? And they had that trade-off back and forth.
Oh, with the
like
cape.
rock, paper, scissors. Yeah.
Which is the question is that they ended up asking it, and it's not a spoiler, I guess. Maybe it is. But they even asked him, you had time to change your cape?
He has the cape on.
But they were still working, I think. I think they're both working together. Two Sinisters. Well, three if you count Null. And Codex.
Well, because he in a way gets, well, I guess kind of sacrifices himself. You know.
Is that okay? We're getting dangerous spoiler line.
Well, it's if he did or didn't, because there's a lot of did it happen because they don't finish off each action. You know, could everybody in the book have died, or are they all still alive other than the one at the end?
Didn't we just say?
I don't know.
Good Lord, man.
Oh man!
You know what? You need to get a shirt made and it says spoiler, just so they know you show that on the live podcast.
You know what? I know we're talking about it here on the show and stuff like that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, on the day in the morning, there's a website. I'm not gonna say the name, but it basically has like they spoil everything, and they're like they just put. I guess the way they get away with it is they put the word spoiler on there, and then they'll take
okay
parts of the comic.
When that
we're not showing the comics either. We're not showing those pages.
I think it was one of the websites, and it said spoiler.
Yeah.
Last Ronin shows what April's up to, and I went, it's in the freaking headline. How did you?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you read headlines, you read the whole thing at once. It's not just left to right. You just see April's name, but then they're like, oh, by the way, spoiler in the beginning, but it shows, and then they show the last page where April comes out, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But side note,
Okay.
before I forget, has nothing to do about comics. But how is it? This is very weird. On Spotify, I tried sharing a playlist with Jess, and I tried sending it to her thing in Facebook. Tell me why it got sent to Mark Zuckerberg.
You sent something to Mark Zuckerberg?
I pushed
heck?
the thing by Jess's name. It said send, and then I was like, wait, why didn't it send? And I look at my chat thing, and then it says Mark Zuckerberg. I went, what? And I click on it, and I sent him. So I went through Spotify again to try to send her again this playlist, my monster ballads, and it sent it to Mark Zuckerberg again. So I had to copy the link and then just post it in her in our text. But so now hopefully Mark Zuckerberg listens to my monster ballads playlist on Spotify.
How well do you know that guy?
That's cool.
It said we're not
Well,
friends.
Well, but where you're at now, they think Box for Fetish is Pokemon, so maybe they think Jess is Zuckerberg. It
think
sounds close.
You went to
It
a
sounds
portal,
close.
dude, or something. You went in a portal when you crossed the desert or
Hey,
something.
you went into a portal? What?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on here, bro. You're that's why you're like, hey, blah blah blah, and you say something and it's sure your Pokemon books are here. You're in the Twilight Zone.
I'm like, they got the messed up TARDIS translating my words wrong.
Wow.
Well, you got to admit, Mark Zuckerberg tells me I want to be friends with somebody at Walmart who's a manager over there that I've never even met before in my life because I was at the Walmart standing next to the person. And next thing you know it, boom, they show up on my Facebook saying, suggested friend.
I
No
mean,
other
I don't
connection.
understand. I don't understand why he's not everybody's friend. I mean, I remember in MySpace, everybody was Tom's friend.
Yeah.
Yep, we're still friends.
I'm
to
still
this
his
day.
friend. Yeah. I still got my MySpace.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
Not me. Never mind. We're not going into
Wait.
that. Anyway,
So
we are okay. So let's let.
No, wait. Carlos, what do you?
Did you read X of Swords?
No, I didn't read.
Oh, well then
but,
next.
but I want to talk about one little thing because I was skimming through Spider-Man right now, and I like this page of Rocket right here.
Oh man, we're
what
gonna
a
talk about that
spoiler.
later, man. Spoiler. I didn't even know.
I was reading this. Sorry.
He's the one
No,
that
we're
killed
gonna-
Spider-Man.
Hey, did you not read the rundown?
No.
Did you not read the rundown? We're talking about that later.
I
I
read
never
some of
learned
it.
how to read. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Venom number 30 and oh, come on, man. We're talking about those later.
Okay.
No,
So show us again
No.
later.
I'm about to
Why?
read.
we're well, okay, so real quick, a closer on that. So lots of intrigue and lots of things are being totally set up for these last 3 books of X of Swords. I think it's been one crazy ride. We've seen some big surprises. I'm still kind of with a lot of the things that have been placed in the way. If you do not want to get any kind of spoiler, and I know the covers have been like red herrings, but I'm going to tell you this. If you look at any of the covers for these next 3 issues, it could be possible spoiler territory. But I mean, you got to look at them, I guess, because you got to buy them, I guess.
No, don't look at them. Because if you look at them, it's bad news bears for you, Walter Matthau.
So I'm okay. I am expecting the next issue to be, if they sped up all those little battles and then they finished it off with the way they did, I'm expecting this next issue to be full on, it's supposed to be badass versus badass. And I expect to see like a apocalyptic battle.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming, but he's weak. He's weak
Hey,
compared to her.
I want them to have like does the cover look like Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Like with Apocalypse and
If you have blood in it. All righty, everybody. Looks like a lot. We got John Vargas, it looks like. I don't know if he's still in there. And we got Stacy. Hello, neighbor. And we've got Kristen Calloway. I don't know if she's still there or just passing through. And of course, we've got our mama. Hello, mama. I didn't say earlier because the guys were saying it. So I just thought I'd say hello to my mama out there.
At home.
We're all in the comforts of our homes right now. So that's X of Swords. It is going to be intriguing. So we're going to quickly jump into Venom 30. This is a very different book. It is obviously we've built up. We were in this other alternate universe. We were trapped there, meaning us, Eddie Brock and Dylan were trapped in there. They didn't know how to get out. They couldn't figure it out. And an alternate Dylan in that future timeline had basically taken over the entire world because of certain powers that he has. And more than likely, Dylan from, the current timeline that Eddie Brock and Dylan are, he probably has these powers. And more than likely, these powers are probably on parallel with Null. Does he have control of these powers? Will he have enough control of these powers or be able to make any kind of difference? Or will the fates and a certain help somebody when King in Black happens? Because a lot of things start to kind of like the chessboard, the pieces are all kind of lining up there.
I liked it as far as alternate universes go. It was pretty interesting to see. I have read like the last couple, especially as we were going through them. No, it's just what I ended up, and it had nothing to do with Venom or any of that. It had to do with Annie, Eddie, and Dylan. I mean, I don't know. It's probably my meds and missing my family. Which an update next week. It's been 2 months aside from seeing my son for like 2 or 3 days. It's been 2 months since I've seen my family.
Damn, dude, you're like Eddie Brock, dude.
Right. So
I laugh, but it's very interesting how a comic book, you know what? And it was written by Donny Cates, art by Luke Ross, and cover by Geoff Shaw. And see, a lot of people give Donny Cates a lot of shit. Let's just go ahead and just say it. They say a lot of things about him, and he's got that. And they'll continue for all his career and stuff like that.
They always will.
He has a way to put something like that in a book, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh my Lord. And this is not the first time that he's done this. He's done this in all these different kind of books that he's and that's what makes him the writer that he is. He's able to mix in the lore, the action, some of that, craziness that you want in a book, but then he has a way of just bringing it down to the human emotion and a certain moment. I was feeling it too. And I was like, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm reading it too late at night. And I'm a little bit tired, but I was like, oh, holy crap. What is Donny Cates doing here? But, he was able to, definitely put a very powerful movement there at the end of this.
Like I said,
tale.
It could be my meds and missing my family. But yeah, it hit me in the feels on this one. I do also like the little thing where, even though Null is still like scared Dylan of that universe, the Black King, the King and whatever they called him.
Yeah, you definitely get a peek here at the end that something is very wrong, and it's going to happen this coming up month, December, with the first week of December. Null is officially here, and you will get King in Black #1, and it goes right into it. He doesn't give a shit about Thanksgiving. He's here, brother. He's here. So Rich,
he'll be in every Marvel book.
I think so.
I just realized with my beanie on and my beard, I'm starting to look like, ooh, Macho Man, you're not going nowhere. Little Spider-Man.
Can I have a Slim Jim?
Ooh, a little spice.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to pick personas. Yep. So
I left my sunglasses in the thing.
I'm wondering which persona. Oh, I already know which one he'll pick. He's gonna be Kermit. Carlos is gonna be Kermit.
Kermit the Frog here.
Why
there you go. It's uncanny. Did you notice? I did not know it was him. I thought it was Jim Henson Jr. Watch, do it again.
Kermit the Frog here.
There you go, dude.
Yeah, dude.
There you go, dude. He's moving right along.
I've been harassing Rob with like Kermit stuff for like the past year or so.
It's like watching Muppet Babies. What's going on?
Ooh.
Muppet Babies. Oh, that's the old one. Then they came out with a new one too.
Yeah, no, that one don't count.
Mama, dada, poo, poo, chihuahua. I tell you, I kind of freaked out the other day. And this wasn't this week. It was maybe a couple weeks ago, give or take, maybe 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. It was several weeks ago. And I'm sitting there, and I'm pretty sure I was unnoticed because I'm not a noticeable guy. I walk into the comic book store, and I go and I, check out some things. And I'm looking at the books, and I'm just listening in the background. And I hear, okay, I'll go ahead and take these books. And next thing you know it, you hear the price. Okay, that's going to be, what do you say? What did they say? Something like $200 and something or $168. And then you hear, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know it was going to be that much. This is what I got. Can you deduct the books till it comes out to this price? And I'll come back for the rest later. Over $100 a week, over $150 a week, $200 a week on books, comic books. I don't know. That's quite a bit, but it makes you wonder. I mean, I get it. If you're buying the books and selling them before you even read them, I get it. You're making your money back if you even sell them. You picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah.
I smell what you're cooking.
And that's why, Greg, you need to wear a condominium. Anyway, let's go to Symbiote Spider-Man. Carlos, that's your cue. So, you picked it up. You got the Symbiote Spider-Man. You found the cover A, which was I believe it's Greg Land. I believe that's that one.
I think I told you that they also had the all black one. That was just all black.
Right.
And I like cover A a little bit more than the all black one, so I just took a cover A.
And that's coming from a guy that likes the silver and black.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Quickly around the table, except Roland. Superlog and me, Superlog, and we got a Greg Land cover. Well, you wouldn't have picked it up anyway. You're not a spider dude anyway. I mean, you read it though, right? So, Rich, did you have a chance to do Symbiote Spider-Man? That's a good answer.
No.
Okay, dokie. And obviously, he didn't get to eat either. No.
No, I didn't.
What are you eating? What do you have on target?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you got the chef salad.
Oh, chef salad.
That's right, because it has that egg. You can't, and one of those
and an Italian sandwich.
Italian sandwich from Boar's Head, or with the HEB kind?
No, the Boar's Head.
Yeah, you can't go
wrong. And then I'm washing it down with some dark lager. I mean, Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. There you
I
go.
had Chick-fil-A.
There you go. He's eating them right out of the can, SpaghettiOs with the meatballs.
Well, now that you say out of the
The
can,
menudo out of the can. No, you don't want to eat menudo out of the can.
No, not in the
I've
can.
tried it.
But I
I've
but I
tried
do
it.
eat the SpaghettiOs and meatballs out of the can because I don't warm that up.
I
Because when I
tried
warm
it.
it up, it poisons you.
I tried menudo in a can. I've tried tamales in a can.
I had that.
Oh,
tamales.
Dad,
That's a thing?
Dad likes tamales in a can.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Hormel tamales in a can.
Wow. Sweet and
And
sassy.
you can buy bread in a can.
You're
Dr.
lying.
Pepper beans.
Whoa. Interesting. And
I
this is the
didn't-
kind of pivot that I was looking for, gentlemen.
Now
Hey.
that we've talked about the beans, let's get back into it.
Okay.
Well,
You were saying?
me and Roland, I guess. Did you did do Symbiote Spider-Man, didn't you? Or am I the only one that read that stupid book? No,
I
you
read
did. Yeah, you read it. You read
I
it.
did.
We'll just kind
Or
of
would you want to call it a what if comic?
it basically it was like that, dude. It was didn't they even say something or what was I reading that
Well,
that-
the
that-
Watcher's in it.
right. And yeah, so it almost
But,
feels
so you don't
like
know what place it is. Like what?
while we were actually doing this show, hint, hint, Carlos, I actually finished Sea of Sorrows. Dude, from IDW, the artwork is amazing. This thing takes place like back in the they're doing the heavyweight, the weighted underwater suits, and the cover itself was amazing. This was the pick that I had for Hot Comic of the Week. Dude, they show him like trying to like go above the water, and he's like, and all the bubbles and stuff, and at the very bottom of the page, what the hell I'm describing what I can easily show you. Let me just show you real quick.
Yeah, but you're articulating it.
Yeah,
You're drawing people in with that.
Right. And I think that, when you see the comic itself, and then you see the siren type creature on the bottom looking up at him, it's just, it's not even in motion, and you can see his struggle as he's trying to get out of the water as fast as he can. The artwork is amazing. They have a sneak peek of the cover that's coming out for the second issue. It's the dude's like helmet, but with a skull in the inside. The art, I just can't go on. I cannot say enough about Alex Cormack. Yeah, look at the use of black, dude. I mean, the whole page is black, dude, except for like this dude up chucking because he's on a boat. I hate the goddamn ocean. I mean, dude, it's gritty. It's it's the sea. I mean, look at these shadowed characters,
Shadow Legends.
shadows, and I love all the underwater shit. Everything that when they're in the water, dude. I love the way they do this. Let me blow this up. What we're hearing, what we're seeing, actually, for the people that are listening to this, I'm showing some of the artwork in the inside of Sea of Sorrows. It's he's in a weighted underwater, the deep sea diving suits from the olden times, and they're looking for a lost treasure that was in the water. And then you see this lantern that he's holding, and
Didn't we have that toy?
yeah,
that was one of my favorites, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and you had to
Find
keep
me that game.
sunken
Find me
treasure.
that game.
Sunken treasure. Love that game. Dude, look at this shark attack, dude.
Mm-mm. No, sir.
I love this. I love it all. Everything about this book. I fell in love with the cover and the premise of the thing, and as you're going deeper and deeper into this, it's like you're this guy and you're going deeper into the book, and then it's just the reveals that end up happening on this thing. It is a 5-part series. I've already seen the covers for the next 2 books. if it's anything like what this is, you know what? It's if you can't get these, and when the trade paperback comes out in, I want to say what, April 2021 or May 2021, get the trade paperback. This thing it's an amazing tale. From IDW, Sea of Sorrows, you definitely want to pick this one up. There were plenty of copies that I saw at American Classic Comics. They had a pretty good number of them. So if you're looking for this book still and it's the weekend, go out to American Classic and pick that one up. You cannot go wrong getting that one for sure. Back to Symbiote Spider-Man. Roland, any thoughts on that one? I mean, you said it was like a what if comic. I guess that's it. He says it's like a what if comic for everybody. How it ties into King in Black, I think you get some hints, but because it's multiple parts, it's basically, consider it the setup. We're trying to lay out the land, the lay of the land, who the main characters are, in everything. You're learning from the space aspect. You're learning from Earth,
time travel.
Yeah, you're learning from a little bit of all the angles here. And it basically is setting up for some very interesting fare. There are several covers that you can pick, like Carlos showed us. He shows us the cover A. Cover B is actually a pretty cool cover from Kerry Randolph, I believe that's his name. And then we had the all black cover. So if you're into just want the little flag, the motif of the King in Black, that's available. And then you have the Superlog variant, which has more of the retro. And you know what? I think it's kind of fitting that the cover that Carlos actually has is kind of more of that, the future kind of cover. You know what I mean? It's like the little spotlight of all the different universes that we're kind of playing around with. And of course, with the Watcher in the back, kind of keeping an eye on things. But definitely we're getting a taste of, the origins of something else in the symbiote world is upon us. But that's what we have there for Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black #1. That's it for Rip Comics Podcast. One more week of the X of Swords, new previews, and 2021 is around the corner. Until next time.